All right, so welcome to all of you. We're so excited to have you guys here tonight. Jake is actually in Minnesota tonight. Our house is officially selling, so he is up there closing and packing up some of our last minute things. So he is not live on the call tonight. He may be able to pop in when he's done with his meeting, but anyway, that's where he is. But we are so excited about tonight's call. You guys are actually really in for a treat here. We had Dean originally reserved to speak at our retreat, at our Diamond Retreat in Charleston that was supposed to happen this last weekend. And because of the hurricane, we had to reschedule, and so we wanted to reschedule him as soon as possible. So as a result, all of you are going to get to hear from him. We're so excited. So I wanted to share just like a little backstory on who Dean is and how we know him and his wife, Kelsey. So this is one of these stories of why I love this business so much. So I think it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. I don't know, Dean. It's been a while now that we've known you guys. That's so cool. So anyway, we were at Summit. I was at Summit. Jake wasn't with me. And I'm introduced to this like adorable pregnant lady who is having twins. And it just so happens that someone had connected us because, you know, we had the twins. They were babies at the time. And then Kelsey was going to have babies, twins. And so we were connected that way. And then later on that year, we met up at the leadership retreat. Beachbody does a leadership retreat once a year for coaches who are 5-star diamond and above. And so we met there. And one night we just got to talking and like totally hit it off. And we were just like, yeah, these people can handle how crazy we are and how passionate we are about the business. And, you know, here we are. Really since then, we've just been kind of pushing each other in the business, been success partners, and like Jake shared in his post, like we're always sort of like secretly competing against each other, but it's like in the best way because we're like sincerely happy when everyone succeeds. And so it's just been so fun to get to know them. And one of the things that has been so cool is this past year, Dean will probably share more about this with you, but he went full-time with Beachbody. So he before also had a really great job in the corporate world, and you know, he had decided to make the leap and join Kelsey full-time. And honestly, it was watching them, like their business from when he joined has just gone like through the roof. A lot because of the things that he's implemented sort of behind the scenes. You guys will kind of notice the guys in this business sometimes, especially if their wives were the one to start, sometimes they're a little bit in the background. And so I'm really excited for Dean to be here and to give him the spotlight tonight because honestly, every time we hear them talk, every time Dean talks, I just like get fired up and I just want to do more. And so you guys are going to get to know him. He is probably one of the funniest people in the whole world. Probably makes me laugh harder than anyone in the whole world. You're going to have a lot of fun tonight, but I'm basically just going to kind of let him loose, which is kind of a risk, Dean, because, you know, you never know where you might go. But I'm super excited. Dean and Kelsey have built a 10-star Diamond Beachbody team, and they're also 2-time elite, and they have some really awesome practices, especially in terms of their mentorship program, and a lot of other things. They're social media rock stars as well. So, all right, Dean, I am going to turn it over to you, my friend.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Can I get a thumbs up? All right, cool. Got a couple of them. I see the Novaks are on. Good deal. Nobody makes me laugh like Chad and Aaron, that's for sure. Amber, thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate that. I feel honored to be speaking to such an amazing team, so many awesome leaders. You guys have no idea how highly Amber and Jake speak about you guys and your team and how proud you are. And honestly, you guys are what, Amber, 36 in the company now? You guys ended what last year? 11, something like that, 13?
13. Mm-hmm.
13, okay. Like, what? Talk about feeling like a wiener in a steakhouse right now. I mean, I feel honored to be talking to you guys and to give you my best tips and my most tangible practices that has helped Kelsey and I. And if you don't know anything about us, Kelsey has been doing Beachbody for 5 years. I've kind of been in the background hating for the first 2 years maybe. Just been over there like, why don't you quit that? Why don't you get off of that? They got pyramid scheme. That shit sucks and blah, 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 blah. And just a side note, guys, like Amber said she was going to let me run loose with this. If you've got little kids in the room, you might want to like get them out of the room or, save this call to watch the recording, get off now, because like I said in the preview in your team page earlier, like I've tried to put the filter on me. I just can't. It doesn't feel natural. Like I cuss. That's what I do. That's how I can get my full emotions across and my whole point across. So just a little side note there off the script. And I just wanted to give you a warning. But we met at leadership and Kelsey met them before that. And, like I said, I was kind of iffy. I was the anchor in the business holding everything back, right? Because I was so on defense and I was trying to kill the business because I didn't understand it. I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to get any of that crap on me. But like the first introduction I got with Jake, my wife is pregnant with twins. And Jake's introduction to me is like, hey, yeah, I know all about trying to have whale sex with a girl that's pregnant with twins. Like, so we immediately kicked it off. Like we kicked it off great, right? So like I'm high five. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, anyway, so that's how we met. We kicked it off really good. I want to talk to you guys about the process or the grind or kind of the shit that we went through. Because in 2016, when we met Amber and Jake, it wasn't all roses. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't pretty. We were at a very crucial time in our business. We were at a very, like, do we do this? Do we keep going? 2016 was a tough time. We really looked at Jake and Amber as fire starters, as you guys call it, in your team page, and that is tried and true. We were in a really bad spot. We had, I don't know how many people on this call have had diamonds quit, but we had approximately 7 diamonds quit that year. How many of you guys have lost 7 diamonds? Raise your hand. Okay. I don't see anybody on here that raise their hand. Losing 7 diamonds is a real kick to the crotch, if I can be honest with you. Like, you really have this self-evaluation of, can I do this? Am I meant for this? And me in the background, I'm like, babe, maybe you better throw in the towel. Like, I don't know. Maybe you need to take a leadership course. I have no idea. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, hit them over the back of the head with a chunk of firewood and make them stay coaches or what? Like, but you really have this self-evaluation about what you're doing, the process, and like you start trying to perfect things almost. And it almost sends you in this spiral of questioning yourself and understanding what's going wrong and you almost start just trying to mimic everybody else because, well, what they're doing must work. So for us, that's what we started doing. And that almost made things worse. And so we had to come to the realization that, and we learned this from Jake and Amber, was you got to stay in your own lane and you got to do what's right and what works for you. People always tell me, like, there's a lot of Beachbody coaches, blah, 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 but there's nobody that can do it like you can do it. There's nobody that's done it the way you can do it. There's 48 people on this call tonight. Everybody does it a little different than even we do. And that's what I want. I want everybody to have their own spin on it, because that's who's going to fall in love with you, is the people that fall in love with your spin, the people that fall in love with your jam, the people that fall in love with your tribe. You know, they say that your vibe attracts your tribe. You're real cliche, right? But it's true. Like, it's true. Like, you have to put your own spin on it, and you have to quit looking at what everybody else is doing and figure out what works for you. Everybody's saying, like, right now, like, everybody's saying video's where it's at. You need to be on video, blah, blah, blah. Video's not where it's at if you suck at video. You need to be writing if you're good at writing. If you suck on video, you're going to look like an idiot on video. Don't do video just because that's what everybody else is doing. I figured out in 2016, figure out what everybody else is doing and go the opposite way. Do exactly the opposite what they're doing. Invent stuff, be a self-starter, create things, right? So I want to talk to you about what we did to get out of that slump in 2016 to where we are now. And, you'll hear on the National Wake Up Call, people will be talking and they'll be like, yeah, I'm a 10-star diamond, but you never really hear the struggle, right? You always see the end result. You always see the outcome, but you never see the climb or the grind through the whole thing, right? So I just told you, we lost 7 diamonds along the way. 7 diamonds. That, like I told you, it hurts. So we had to sit back and go, okay, if we're going to make this thing work, we need to do it how Kelsey would do it. What would attract people that are like Kelsey? What would attract people? And I'm using you guys as an example, using what would attract Bridget to this team? What would attract Aaron to this team? So I want you guys to think about that and how you could do this differently and how you could set yourself apart from everybody else, because the market's not saturated when there's only one Amber Kuiper, right? The market's not saturated when there's only one Emily Combs. So I want you to think about this. And one of the things that we did was we decided that, F what everybody else is doing with all these long, drawn-out processes of you have to do this, and if you don't get this check in the box, then you don't get this. So here's what we do. Onboarding, super simple. And if you're taking notes, write this down, because you guys are going to be like, holy cow, this is stupid simple. I can't believe you guys are 10-star because of this. But the first thing we do is, one thing that we changed was we saw that everybody was like doing these posts, but nobody was taking the time to build a relationship with people to teach them more about what we do as coaches. And we said, we're going to do that differently. So if you're interested in coaching, we're going to set up a call with you just like this. And you're going to submit a Google form, and we're going to go through all your questions. Kelsey and I are going to go through all your questions. We have an idea of what you're asking because we have the Google form. So we're prepared for this call. We come to the call. We talk to them about our goals as a team, where we're going, what this is all about. And then the number one point, or the punchline to the whole call, is answering their questions and figuring out what their hesitations are and addressing that in person. And we got this idea because Carl Deichler in 2016, or maybe it was 2017, said, we've gotten away from the personal touch, the personal relationship with people. And we're a people business. And we've gotten away from this. What is so wrong with setting up a Zoom call to talk to someone, to help answer their questions, to touch on their fears, to let them know that it would be okay? What's so wrong with going to a coffee shop and grabbing a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with someone and just being a human and being that person that can let them know that it's going to be scary embarking on a new adventure, but they have every resource and training provided to them. And so we said, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to try this. And let me tell you, I guess it's gratitude in a sense. Like when you have your back up against the wall and you're thinking about quitting this business because you have that, it's either the chicken exit or do something you've never done before. That's your only option, because in our family, I don't know about your guys' family, but quitting isn't an option. Like you just don't quit. That's when you fail. So our option was to implement that. So we did. We implemented that. Anybody that wanted to join our team, we would take the time to set up a one-on-one call with them. We would set up a time to do, if we were double booked, we would get 2 people. If we were triple booked, we'd get 3 people. I don't care how you guys do it, but take the time to be personal with people and show that you're a human, you have a heart, you have a pulse, you're breathing, and you care, and you have a soul about other people. See, like our big thing this year is like, we want to give with no expectation of anything in return. I'll give you everything that we can. I'll get on a call with you for 30 minutes. I'll get on a call with 2 of you for 30 minutes, and I'll expect none of you to sign up. But that's how I go into it, because I love it. I love the grind. I love being told no. I love failing. I love having doors shut in my face, because I know that that means I need to change, or I need to adjust, or I know that that means later. I know that they'll come back to me or to us. But once we have that one-on-one call, or 2-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever it may be, I ask them on the call, like this Zoom call, okay, you've learned everything. I've answered all of your questions. I'm never afraid to ask for what I want. And that is, are you ready to join our team? Do you want to be a part of, we call ourselves Real Women Conquer? I know, right here, right? Real Women Conquer. Do you want to be a part of this team? Guys, I'm telling you, it's so simple that people are like, oh my God, you've taken out the time to set up this call with us, and then you had the audacity to ask me to join your team. We've had people like jumping up and down. Yes, I want to be on your team. What is it going to take? And then we will walk them through getting a challenge pack, because they're so excited. We won't even get off the call, because I don't want to trying to reach out to them tomorrow and then here 3 days later they had Wi-Fi issues. Let's just get it taken care of now. So we do that. People are excited. People have so much FOMO because they know we only have 5 spots. We call out a number, and we do only accept 5 to 10 people each month, because we know our capacity in our business and how many people we can mentor each month. So we do only accept a certain amount of people, because I know that if we get 10 rock stars, that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. We've hit Success Club, done. We've got our recruiting number, done. We've got rock stars. We've got business builders. People are excited. They're ready to do this. I'm not dragging people. I don't want discount coaches, because discount coaches, you have to drag. Now, that's not the case all the time. Some of our better coaches have started as discount coaches, and that's okay. We know that if we get them plugged in and we create that excitement in our team page, they will change their mind. I love when a discount coach tells me I want to be in it for just the discount. I'm like, okay, just wait. So after we get them signed up, we give them a welcome email where we have a 15-minute video, a link to YouTube embedded in that video or in that email. And when it talks about our process, it talks about setting up an account on Thinkific site where they'll do a new coach training. We've compiled trainings from some of the best in this industry. I mean, you don't have to regurgitate and recreate the wheel and come up with your own trainings. We've compiled trainings from other coaches, from some of the best. Amber's even made an appearance in there. Kelsey's in there, some of them. We've got Aaron Novak in some of them. So we've just combined everybody's trainings. And then after they watch the 15-minute video, we say, hey, email us for when you're ready for the next step. We're starting this funnel process because we know that if you can't watch a 15-minute video, you're not as excited as you said you were in the beginning. And I know I can gauge based on how much they're asking and how much they're ready for, how excited they are and how ready they are for the next step, because I don't want to overwhelm anybody. We get that question, we get that phrase a lot, like I feel overwhelmed. Okay, well, I'm going to give it to you in bite-sized pieces. I'm going to give it to you one step at a time. After you can watch the 15-minute video, then we'll talk about the next steps. So they send me a message or send Kelsey a message, and then they say, hey, I'm ready. I want to be in that email. It asks, do you want to be in the success pods? Do you want to be in the new coach training or the mentorship? Yes. Okay. We will send them the next steps, which says, hey, you need to request Dean and Kelsey as your friend on Facebook. You need to make an account on Thinkific, like I said. And then we will get you, after you watch the video, we will get you into the mentorship training and the success pods. And our success pods are just a message thread on Facebook. And we've got 4 different levels of success pod. We've got new coach success pods. We've got emerald success pods. We've got cubic zirconia success pods. And we've got diamond. Actually, we got 5. And we got push to elite. So there's 5. based on their level, that's how we move them up. So after they complete the training, this training should take them approximately a week. Some people finish it in 3 days based on how excited they are. They can't wait. We will then add them into the team page. We will then set up another one-on-one call with them to talk about their goals. And part of their goals are going to be to help, if they're business builders, in which at this point, if you've gotten this far, you're a business builder, is to help 3 people each month. Sign up, and this is how we say it. Your goal is to help 3 people do exactly what you just did each month. It's as simple as that. Like, that's all you got to do. 3 people, challenge packs, sign up, go. And automatically, they do that, they become Emerald. In that, we encourage them after they're in the new coach, the new coach pod, we encourage them to jump on the Emerald and 24-hour call. And we almost don't even give them an option because everybody else is jumping on the Emerald and 24-hour call. Because if you're in this to build a business, your next step is to be Emerald. That's where you're going. Because you don't just get to a spot in this business and you stop, right? You keep going. You're constantly building. You're constantly improving. I always say it's not the end result. It's who I become in the process. Like, I don't want to get to superstar diamond. I don't give a crap about that. I don't care about the recognition. I won't even get on stage. So I don't care about that. I care about the person we become in the process of doing that. I care about our team increasing their gain, leveling up their game, getting an income for them and their family along the way. And you guys, you'll hear some of these terms that I'm talking about, Emerald in 24 hours, cubic zirconia. It's probably, some of this is probably regurgitation. And it's because one of my biggest suggestions is that you find a partner, you find a push partner, you find a success partner, whatever you want to call it, like Jake and Amber are for us. But you can't have Jake and Amber because they're already taken. We've got them. Like Amber said, we push each other. I actually don't like Jake and Amber because when it's 10:30 at night and I'm tired and I'm done and I'm ready to go to bed, like I see these assholes post in their team page like how they're doing this and how they're doing that. And I'm like, God, I got to get up. Oh, we got to keep going. But I love it. I love it because they make me level up. And I want you guys to find somebody to help you level up, to help you level up, to help make you level up, to be that better person. Maybe that's someone on your team. Maybe that's someone not even on your team. But totally off script there. I wanted to touch on that because I know you guys are hearing Emerald and 24-hour, cubic zirconia. I know those are terms that you guys have heard because we share those things. We mastermind with Jake and Amber. You got to find someone you can mastermind with. You got to find, because nobody gives a shit about your dreams and your goals except people in this business who get you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you not hitting your goals, and nobody cares about you whining except your loser friends and maybe your mom. And sometimes it's not even your mom. My mom hates that I'm doing this business. She absolutely hates it. She thinks I'm lazy. And that's cool. Mom, I'm going to make you proud one day, but I'm not doing it for you. Okay? Promise. So moving along. After we get them in the new coach pod and after they've completed their mentorship and they're done, like, people come to us and they're like, man, like 90% of my questions are answered. Like, and I'm like, okay, they've taken the time to spend to go through these trainings because this is important to them. They really want to level up. They want to do this business. So after we get them in the new coach pod, it's game on. Like it's all about creating excitement. It's all about creating that fear of missing out, right? FOMO for short. Because people are attending the Emerald and 24-hour calls. People are ranking up. People are leveling up. And it is our time to announce and to make those people shine in those pods. And they said, hey, we say, hey, Amber Kuiper, she just hit Emerald. Say your goodbyes. You'll never see her again. She's going to the Emerald pod. So tell her goodbye and congratulations. And people are like, no, like Amber's my girl. Like, I can't let her beat me at this. Like, it requires people to level up, to step up their game. So we have people chasing people for the simple fact of meeting them halfway, meeting them where they're at, because they told each other in the beginning, hey, you're my person. We just went through the new coach pod together. Like, let's do this business together. They've already started building this relationship within, and they're seeing people leave. So they decide that they need to level up too. So once we get them into the Emerald pod, our next goal obviously is CZ. And guys, we put together CZ because we felt that there was too much of a gap between Emerald and Diamond within Beachbody. People argue, and they've argued with me and said, well, there's Ruby, but who hits Ruby? Like, it's like 1 in 20 hit Ruby, right? So we're like, let's create CZ. CZ's 4 coaches, double Emerald, basically. People are calling it double Emerald. I'm like, let's just call it a fake diamond. What's a fake diamond? CZ, because you're acting like a diamond, you're starting to look diamond, but you're not quite a diamond yet, right? So in the CZ pod, we really push people to get to that 6 coach mark. They're sitting at 4. We push people to get to that 6 coach mark. And guys, there's like no magic sauce. There's no magic secret. We just encourage people. We put belief in them. We show them vision along the way of what it is like 6 people. You're 2 away. It's not hard. You've gotten this far. You've gotten Emerald twice. Then we set the incentive that they get another one-on-one call because we feel it's important to prep them for Diamond, right? So people hit that like so easy. It's insane. But it's because they want that time with us. They want that time to be able to map out the next steps of their goal and not be alone. They want to know that we're here and we know how to get them to Diamond, in which we do. We've been Diamond a couple of times over. So we get on the phone with them, a Zoom call like this, and we map out one-on-one how they're going to do this. We do 20-minute calls. Sometimes they're 30 minutes. And we map out how they get to Diamond. And guys, that's the road. That's the process, how we get people to Diamond. It's creating excitement, putting them in a community, which is our pods, and staying in touch with them and keeping that encouragement and that FOMO. People ask me like, oh man, I just can't motivate my team. Like, my team is just like, how do you move your team? And for me, it's like some people just won't. Some people they don't. But I'm not going to take them to the next level if they haven't even completed stage 1 or stage 2. It's kind of like English 101. When you go to college, you don't start out with 601, you start out with 101. If you can't get past 101, we're not going to take you to 601. So that's how our pods are set up. But it's really good because they're surrounded with other people that are on the same level as them. So if you're in a position where you're like, oh, you're that person that's like, how do I motivate my people? Like, what do I do? Like, I don't drag anybody. Like, you don't want this? Good. Fine. More time I get to spend with my leaders. More time that I get to spend with people who are up late with me investing in their business. And that's okay. And I always tell my leaders, it's 1 in 10, the 1 in 10 rule. When you're Diamond, you're going to have maybe 1 coach that's really wanting to work it like you do. So if you've got 1, you're doing great. You got 2, you're ahead of the game because you're like 2 in 8. So don't beat yourself up on that. Don't beat yourself up about that. They haven't found the vision. They haven't found the why they're doing this, why they even want to be in this. So don't blame yourself like we did, because that was the biggest mistake we could have done. Because we all know how hard it is to change ourselves. You guys all know how hard it is to get up at 5, to get up at 6 in the morning, to do your workout every day when you don't want to do it, when you'd rather stay in bed. You all know how hard that is, right? So imagine how hard it is to get someone else to do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can't put that burden on your shoulders when you have a hard enough time changing yourself, changing your habits. The best thing you can do as a leader is work on yourself and work on leveling up your game. So after we get people to diamond, like how do we get, what's the next step? Like how do we get to beyond diamond? So, and I'm talking to a lot of you people, a lot of you guys, a lot of you gals, a lot of you ladies on this call about this. Because this is the point in which people try to continue doing what got them to diamond, and they can't figure out why they can't get to star diamond or they can't get to 2-star. What you did to get you to diamond is not going to get you to star diamond. I promise you. And if you're trying to drive that home over and over and over, you're going to fail. You're going to fail, and you're going to fail. But here's the thing. If you're trying to get to star diamond, this is what it's going to take. It's going to take more than Success Club 6. At this point in your business, most of you are probably building more than one account. One Success Club 6 is good for one account. If you're building you and your spouse, you need to double that Success Club number, at least. That should be your new minimum. You should be hitting Success Club 12 every month if you're trying to get to star diamond. That should be where you start. It's Success Club 12 and 6 coaches to get to star diamond. This is the point in which you're going to have to up your game, not focusing on what my team's not doing, what everybody else is not doing. I don't look at what everybody else is doing. I keep my blinders on. I don't give a crap what you guys and what your team is doing. I worry about myself. I worry about my own game. I've got enough problems in my own team to worry about what everybody else is doing. There is so much training within Beachbody. You got to figure out what works for you. Really narrow into what Amber and Jake are providing for you guys. It's gold, and it's all free. Like, I love when people are like, yeah, I just paid $1,000 for this pre-roll ad I found on YouTube, and I think it's going to help me like get to the next level. Like, the shit's free. Like, you don't, the reason people want to pay someone else is because it's easier to shit on someone else and tell everybody else why it's not working than it is to shit in your own lap. It's easier to pass the blame on someone else and go, okay, I just got to take this course and that'll correct all my problems. Like, it's nothing to do with me because I'm doing everything right. Like, I love when people tell me that. I love, like, I have people on my team, I'm not kidding you, like, that are like, I'm so busy right now. I've just got so much going on. Like, and then I see like they've built this massive, because I love social media because it exposes all your bullshit, right? I love it because then I see they've built, like, they're in 3 fantasy football leagues, right? And then they're posting about it. And that's where I'm like a fucking cobra in the grass, and I just fucking strike. And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't have time for this, but you got time to build 3 fantasy football leagues? Like, come on. Like, really? Don't tell me, because it's easier to crap in someone else's lap than to take responsibility for yourself. That's why everybody's looking for the shortcut. Everybody wants to wear sprinting sneakers, but nobody wants to wear marathon sneakers. And I'm here to tell you that it's going to take you learning. It's going to take you leveling up. It's not going to take you spending more time within your team page. That's not going to do it. The biggest motivator to your team is bringing on people who are fired up. That really gets people off their couch. that want to work this. Is like, okay, for example, on our team, we had Shelby that hit diamond in like 4 weeks. And people were like, who's this girl? I've been diamond. It took me a year to get diamond. And let me just keep in mind, I'm not talking trash on anybody that's taken a year to be diamond. It took Kelsey a year to get diamond, okay? So if it's taking you a year to get diamond, that's cool. Like, we're on the same page. Shelby hit diamond in 4 weeks, and everybody's like, what's the secret sauce? What am I doing? What script? Where's the script that she's using that I don't have? It's not a script. She got to freaking work. She got busy. The only thing Shelby did for 4 weeks was invite people. She started, and Kelsey was talking to her for 6 months about coaching, and she kept ghosting Kelsey. But you know what she was doing? She was talking to people about coaching before she was even a coach. And so when she became a coach, she blew up, and nobody's seen the behind the scenes work that she did. All everybody's seen was she blew up in 4 weeks, and she must have the secret sauce because she's diamond, and now she's 2-star qualifying. And oh my God, like, what am I doing wrong? And it brings me back to square one: is it's nothing you're doing wrong. You have not seen the process along the way of which everybody else is doing. But I guarantee you, Shelby wasn't working or trying to convince her team that they need to work harder because she didn't even have a team. She was just recruiting like a boss every freaking day. That's all she did. She took the tracker we gave her and she tripled it. She quadrupled it because she knew she was in a spot with her family that she had to get out of. And she saw this as an opportunity. All right, side note, I got sidetracked. I hate when I do that. I apologize. You have to, at this point, like, you should always be building your cold market. Your warm market is people that know you. That's probably your family and your friends. They already know you. You don't need to be working on building relationships with them, building trust with them. You need to be attracting your cold market. You need to be working on your cold market today. If you're a brand new coach on this call, you need to be focusing on your cold market, not your warm market. I have people on our team that are like, okay, I'm diamond. I've exhausted my warm market. Now what I do? And I'm like, start working on your cold market. Like I told you 6 months ago, Dick, maybe that would be a good spot. You need to work on your cold market constantly. Like, I can't help you, Richard, if you just ignore me the whole time. And now you're in a bind because you're stuck and your warm market's exhausted and you don't know what to do. Like, listen, hear me out. This is one thing that we learned the hard way. And I'm only speaking to you truths because we failed. We failed miserably along the way. And I'm telling you, don't do what we did. Learn from our mistakes. Build that cold market today. I know it's scary. I know you're worried that they may tell you no, but guess what? If you don't like their response, just close your computer like that, and you don't have to ever talk to them again. It's like we've got it so easy because we're just behind a screen. You'll never see them again, and it's okay. This business can be an opportunity for them. It can be an opportunity for you. Last night we had a team call with, I was just telling you guys about Shelby. She was on our team call sobbing because if Kelsey wouldn't have asked her to do this, she would still be in that dark place and that dark path in life that she was headed down. She didn't feel worthy of being a part of this. She didn't feel worthy that she could be a part of a team that's so positive. And if Kelsey wouldn't have ever asked her, she would have never joined. Like, how unreal is that? Like a simple, hey, would you like to be a part of our team, made someone feel worthy of something. Like how mind-blowing is that? One little invite can change somebody's complete world. And I told you, Shelby is, and I keep bragging on Shelby because she's doing so good, but she's got a huge heart in what she's doing. She's all in. Shelby is bringing in like $1,000 a week. And she's been a coach a total of, I think, 8 months now. And she's at that $1,000 a week. And I always tell people, I wish, like regret's one of the worst things you can have. And one of my regrets is I wish I would have jumped on board a lot sooner to help Kelsey do whatever it took to get on board to do this, because I would have liked to make $1,000. She was making $1,000 at 6 months. I would have liked to make $1,000 at 6 months. She called us crying one day because when she made a $1,700 check, because she's gonna take her family on a vacation to Disney this year, something they haven't done in years, all because of one simple invite. So I'm asking you, like, if you're nervous because it may say no, that's because you're playing defense. What if you play offense and you can get into that, you can help that person get out of that dark spot? Maybe that's a spot you were in before you joined. And if we didn't ride the coattails of someone else that invited us, where would we be? One simple invite is all it could take. I could have 20 no's, but if I get that one response from someone that said, hey, you took me out of a dark place, I don't give a shit about what knows, like who, they'll be back. They'll be back when they see how happy and how successful and how much we encourage people to work on themselves. So guys, my point is with that issue, a lot of people think in terms of defense, and offense is always the best defense. So what? Like, don't get to the end of this and say, like me, that I wish we would have done this a year ago. Like, if you want to see a regret in someone's eyes, like, I always think of Gary Vaynerchuk, because he talks about this all the time, is go volunteer at a nursing home for a couple days. One, because it's a really nice thing to do for people. But two, talk to 8 people, talk to 6 people, and you'll hear people that have regret. People that are 90 and they're done. They can't build that business that they wanted to when they were 26, when they were 36. They're done. Like, they're tired. They don't know what AOL is. They don't know what www is. Like, it's over with. It's game over. Don't have that regret. Don't do it. And I guess for me, I think one of the biggest things I'm grateful for is it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective in this business. Like, when I was working full time, I had a guy that was side hustling, building a countertop business. He was going to make countertops for people. When he got off work, he went to a shop and worked in the winter. Like, he would trudge through the snow and work. Like, he would go out there and physically build countertops till 2 a.m. and then go home and sleep for like 4 hours and then get up and go to his day job. We literally, like, this job, this business, in my mind, I have so much gratitude for, because I feel like I'm cheating compared to him. Like, I can go work my day job, my 7 to 5, to pay off my debt, to pay my bills, to pay my mortgage, to put my kids in school, whatever that is. And then I can get out my smartphone from 8 o'clock at night till 2 a.m. and not even have to leave my house. And I can build my side business along the way. Like, people take that for granted. Like, think about your grandparents. They didn't have that opportunity. Hell, think about your parents. They didn't have that opportunity just 10 years ago. If they wanted to build a side business, they had to get up and go to work and go to bed. Get up, go to work, go to bed. They couldn't just like be naked in their bed at 2 a.m. building their side business and building an Instagram following. That is so, like, it's, people want to, like, literally before this call, I got a DM saying how hard it is. How hard it is because they got ghosted on Instagram. I'm like, are you kidding me? Your great grandparents went through 2 world wars, a depression, and you want to cry to me that you can't build an Instagram following because all you want to post is about your kids and your dog. Like, think about that. Think about your perspective. Like, think about how easy. Like, guys, we're selling challenge packs here. We're not flying a rocket to the moon. Like, how do you even calculate how to get a rocket to a destination you've never been before? Like, that's difficult. What we do is not difficult. We're building relationships. So I challenge you, if you're getting ghosted, if you get ghosted 3 times a day, I challenge you to get ghosted 10 times a day. It means you're putting in the work. That's the secret sauce, is putting in the work. Doing what your competition is not willing to do. Get ghosted more. There's a lot of people that come to me and say, I'm going to be a top 10 coach. I'm going to be elite this year. Oh, yeah, but weekends, I don't do those. I don't work weekends. That's just family, and lake time. I got to have my lake time. And fantasy football. Got to have that fantasy football. And I'm going to ask you, think about why you want this. What do you want it for? Do you want it so you can get back at people that hurt you? Do you want it for that new Range Rover so you can show that person in college that you made it and that you're golden? Or do you want it because you love the grind? Do you love helping people? Do you love the process of failing? Do you love being ghosted? Because you know that when you get ghosted 3 times, you're going to go get ghosted 6 times. And you're going to keep going. Because it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what other people think. And I heard this, and I think it's really true. Like, when you're driving down the road and you're driving like a complete jackass, and you see those blue and red lights flashing, and you hear the sirens, and then you're like, oh shit, like it got real. Like, you hold on 10 and 2 onto the wheel for a quick minute until they go by. And then you start driving like a jackass again. You start driving like an idiot. That's how people are living and treating this business. Like, they get serious when they start hating their job. And they get serious when grandma's sick and they don't have enough vacation in their job to spend time with her on her last days. People are living and treating this business like it's a $170 business, and that's all they've got into it. Treat it like a multi-million. Treat it like you've just invested in the next Chipotle restaurant. Don't only grab onto the wheel when shit's getting scary in your life. Grab onto the wheel 10 and 2 before it's too late, before grandma gets sick. I don't build this business for recognition. I don't build it for the Instagram followers. I don't build it for the Facebook followers. But I know that if grandma gets sick or my best friend's son develops leukemia cancer, I can raise a fund because I've got a massive following and we can help him fight this battle. We can help put enough money together to put his parents in a home, in a hotel for the couple weeks while he's going through chemotherapy, while he's going through complete hell in his life, but his parents can be there every step of the way. Maybe we can pay the parents' mortgage while they're spending time with their son. I don't build it for the likes. Maybe one day you're going to have someone running for political office and you want to host a campaign for them. Whatever that may be, ask yourself why you're doing this. Is it to help more people? And I'm not talking just health and fitness. I'm not talking just beach body. I'm talking about big picture. Why are you doing this? And when things get tough and times get hard, and you're like that Dean and Kelsey in 2016, you really have to reflect, because I guarantee you that's going to come. It happens for everybody. The only reason we got out of it is because we stayed in it. The only people that get hurt on a roller coaster are the ones that jump off. We've seen a lot of people jump off, and they're still we've had people jump off and they're coming back. They're like, okay, I'm ready to ride again. I'm ready to do this again. The only reason we're still here is because we didn't get off. We didn't jump. When times got rocky, when times got tough, we didn't get off. But when times get tough, and this 107, like, I think that the $170 buy-in that this business has is a good thing, but I also think it's a curse. I don't think it's enough, because I think when little Johnny's got soccer and the dog like crapped all over the porch and you got to clean it up and life's getting busy and the kids get called into the principal's office and like you get pregnant, like an unexpected pregnancy, like how does that happen? Unexpected pregnancy. Like, this is the first thing that goes off your plate because it only costs you $170. That's it. That's all you got in it. That's the only skin in the game you've got. But if you really reevaluate it and look at it like it's a $200,000 business, like you just opened up a Chipotle and you got $200,000 and you got the bank sending you late notices because you haven't paid your loan on your business, think about that. Put it third in line. Put it after your God, after your marriage, after your family. Put it fourth in line. Sorry, can't do math. Put it fourth in line. Don't swipe it under the rug when it's the first thing to go. But when it is the first thing to go, I want you to change your wording. Don't say, I can't do this. Just say, tell yourself, and this will change everything for you. Tell yourself, it's not a priority to me right now. And see how that feels. I love this business. I love doing it, but it's just not a priority to me right now. I can't. It's kind of like when you want to eat ice cream really, really bad, but you've been on a diet for like 7 hours and you're like, oh, 7 hours, I can't do this. Go put on your swimsuit and eat that cone of ice cream in front of the mirror and see how that feels. It's not easy, is it? Tell yourself, send your spouse a voice memo and say, I love this business, but it's not a priority right now. My husband hates his job and he's struggling. And his job is making him work Saturdays and Sundays, and Sunday is fantasy football day. And we don't believe in that because it's fantasy football day. And I want to bring him home, but right now it's not a priority. And ask yourself, am I okay with that? Be sure of your decisions. And then with that being said, that is all I have, Amber. I'm surprised we didn't have a bunch of people jump off the call.
Oh, it was so good. That was so good. I already have all kinds of notes, and I'm like, we're going to have a great leadership call tomorrow, implement a bunch of this. But seriously, thanks so much. So many truth bombs. So it was just awesome to hear your perspective, and really appreciate you guys sharing, that you did struggle. Because I think that the lie we tell ourselves is that, it's all easy for everyone else. So I love that. Could we open it up for a few minutes of questions here? Does anyone have questions for Dean about anything he shared?
Absolutely. We can open up for Q&A.
Sweet.
I got all the time in the world because it's a priority to me right now.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Aaron Trier is asking, Dean, what role do you and Kelsey play in each of the pods? Do you drive goals and conversation, or do you let the people in the pods drive the interaction?
So in the beginning, yeah, I would. I kind of drove the engagement interaction, but you guys will find if you do a pod yourself And even if you only have 2 people in your pod, so be it. Like people always come to me and like, well, when I get to your level, then I'll start a pod. No. Don't do that shit. You're thinking small game. Put one person, you and another person, in your pod. Okay? Just you and one other coach. Okay? You can be Emerald Coach. You'll find that the pods start running themselves. You don't have, like, that's the greatest thing about the pods is like, I don't have to be in there all the time. I turn my notifications off because if not, like, these girls are nuts in there. Like, bing, bing, bing. Like, my phone would be going. I'm like, what are you? God, you ladies talk a lot. Like, that's good though. Like, I want Aaron to be talking to Bridget and to be talking to Katie. And like, I want them to bounce ideas off of each other because I'm only one perspective. I'm only one angle. Like, there's so many more of them in there that have better ideas than even me. So you'll find that when you do this, these things start running themselves. And that's the beautiful thing. You save yourself time as a leader, which can give you more time to go out and find more leaders.
How can I ask another follow-up question about the pods? So
Yep.
Do you guys run them like just for your PS or people in your downline, or how does that work? And have you found like what side, like how many people is kind of ideal?
Yeah, so we have opened it up to everybody in the downline. I will even mentor, like if your upline's a piece of shit and you don't have an upline, like I'll mentor you. Like I don't care. Like it doesn't matter to me if you're not my PS coach. Like I will mentor everybody. And our pods it's like I count all of them, right? So what we do is we allow 24 hours. And if you ghosted me, I always create some sort of deadline. I think people don't jump in because there's no urgency, right? If they're like ghosting you, they either really weren't interested, they were just pulling your chain, or there's just not enough urgency there. So I will create that urgency. So what we say is, hey, we've got one more spot left. Did you want this? Or I saved it for you because you seem like someone who was super serious about achieving your goals and achieving being in our challenge group. But if you're not, like, I'll open it up to someone else. Now, what that does, you have to be willing to take the risk that they could say, F you, like, I don't want this, like, you're pressuring me into this. That's fine, because they'll probably get a challenge pack. That's the type of person that would get the challenge pack and return it anyway. So you have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with setting a deadline. But that's what that's what we have found is works really well, because they'll come back and go, oh yeah. So I'm sorry. Like the dog puked on the porch. I was cleaning it up, and like, I saw your message and I meant to get back. And then like my Wi-Fi died and like all this stuff. Like, I'm like, hey, whatever. Like, do you want to be in or not? Like, I've got one spot left, but that's that urgency. And I throw in that urgency, and I remind them of what they've come to me for. Because usually they've come to me like because they need to lose 30 pounds, or they want to take back the kitchen, or they want to be in the mentorship, or they're tired of going to Jenny Craig because it's just like they're tired of paying all that money, whatever it may be. Like, I remind them of what they came to me for and ask them if they're still serious about it.
Thank you. That's good. That helps.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I think I haven't really been creating that urgency, so I think that will help. And even if it's, kind of pulling their leg a little bit, it gets people thinking and almost realizing, like, either commit or don't keep wasting my time. Like,
exactly. And I always use the term either shit or get off the pot. Like, don't just like make a decision and get on with both of our lives.
Yeah.
And Emily, like, don't be afraid to ask what you want.
Okay.
Because this really is a blessing to them. It can change their life. They just don't realize it yet. So, but don't be afraid, because listen, you're behind a keyboard. Like, they're not going to come to your house and beat you up, right? So don't be afraid to call them out on their ish.
Right. All right. Thank you.
You got it. You're welcome.
Okay, so Beth is asking, how are you finding these people who come to you and want to be a coach?
Hey, who's
market? Can you hear
oh
me?
my God, I hear someone talking, but I don't see anybody. So you froze, Amber, so I decided to host this call myself.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Can you hear me?
Anybody that has a question has to unmute themselves, because I don't like reading.
Oh, perfect. That works great. Beth.
So I want this to be more interactive. So Beth or Novak, unmute yourself. Don't hide behind your keyboard. Just unmute yourself and ask me the question.
What's up, Dean? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love the meet and greets. I think that's what you guys usually call them. But my question is, are you hosting multiple a week? Do you guys just kind of have the whatever it takes approach with people's schedules? Or do you say, like, we're going to have one every week and more people hop on if possible, or you keep it more one-on-one? Does that make sense? Do you know?
Yeah. So there's like 2 days or 2 nights a week that we don't do meet and greets, but so like when we were pushing for 10 star, we did meet and greets probably every night for freaking 3 months. Like, and if we could double book people, we would, because a lot of people have the same questions, so we could knock them out in one call. And but yeah, when we were pushing for 10 star, we were doing them every night, it felt like. But to me, like, I didn't care. Like, if that's what it took to get to my goal, then so be it. And we had probably an 85% success rate of people joining from doing that. And so
Yeah.
it was really Kelsey's responsibility to create that excitement on social media. And you'll see her on Instagram stories, like, I'm doing stupid shit that I would never dream that I was doing, like jumping up and down, like, we're so excited, we've got all these applications. Guys, we didn't have a single freaking application, but they don't know that. The people on the other end watching don't know that. Only you know that. So quit acting like everybody knows your business. They don't know that. Create that excitement.
I love that you said that, because I think that people don't lean into that quickly enough. And it's not, you don't want to, like, flat out lie, but you also, if you're not creating that excitement, then no one's going to be excited. If you're like showing like that you're nervous because nobody wants to be on your team, then nobody's going to want to be on your team. So I like that you said that she'll say you guys have a ton of applications when you really don't yet, but you're going to. Like, I like that you said that. And do you find that people are receptive to hopping on a call with other people as strangers, like the meet and greet? Like, it's cool, it's fine when there's 2 or 3 of them on the call?
Yeah. People, I mean, what really drove that is we got people that are like, hey, do you think you could meet for a call sometime? And at first we were like, that's kind of weird. Like, that we don't do that. We just do everything behind the keyboard. And then we're like, what if we start doing this and like start granting these people's requests? And it really worked out really well for us. And yeah, and back to the whole, like, it's like I said, it's all perspective. Like, so what if you're really excited, you got all these calls? What's all these calls? That's not a number. Like, or all these meet and greets, all these one-on-one calls, like, that could be 2 people. And like, we got all these, like, maybe for you, that's a lot of people. Maybe 2 is a lot. And for us at the time, we would have taken anybody. So we were excited when we got 3 or 4 people. And if you see me on Instagram stories jumping up and down about how excited I am, we don't have shit going on. We're slow, but that's okay. Like whatever you got, whatever the audience wants to think. So.
Love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then I know Beth had a question. Beth, you want to unmute yourself? You still on?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't see you though. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. I see you now. Okay.
So I just wanted to ask how you are finding the people who are coming to you and wanting to be coaches. Because for me in my business, I've kind of run out of my warm market and I didn't do the whole expanding my cold market, and I'm just learning how to do that now. And are you finding most of these people through your cold market and either Instagram or Facebook? That's a question. And then to follow up with that, are you having to like make really long relationships with them before you just go in for the kill and ask them to be a coach?
So to answer the first one, our number one platform right now is Instagram, and more specifically Instagram stories. I don't do as many stories as Kelsey does, but she probably does 15 to 30 a day, depending on the day. And she's talking about twin mom stuff. She's talking about where we got our dining room table. She's just constantly trying to add value to people in their life. And she's been building that relationship ever since she got on Instagram stories. So the people that first started following her, I mean, we're at the point to where people are coming to us because she's built that. She's been consistent every day on Instagram stories and helping people. So we're to the point where like we're not having to go out and beat the bushes for people each month. They're coming to us, which is a good thing. But if you haven't, which is good news to you that hasn't built your cold market, because like Kelsey, she didn't build her cold market. She waited till her warm market was exhausted. So there's hope for you. I don't want you to think like, oh, well, that's great. But you need to get on Instagram stories and start building that. And maybe, like I said in the call, maybe it's not Instagram stories you're good at. If you suck on video, start a blog. Start something to where you can help and add value, add content to people in their life. And they come and they approach you when you have something to offer. And the reason like we do so well is because we go into it with that mindset that we're going to give and expect nothing out of you. And you almost feel like an asshole not buying anything because we have offered so much to you for free for so long, if that makes sense. We almost guilt trip people into, okay, now we've got a challenge group coming up. And that's the thing. People ask us like, how many free groups a month do you run? We don't. We provide the information of our free groups on Instagram stories. That is our free group. People get so much for free that they come to us like, okay, well, if I got that for free, I can't imagine what I would get in my challenge group with Kelsey and Dean. Does that answer your question? Or
yeah.
Do you have more?
Yeah. I just am still finding that I'm having to, I haven't found a good balance between creating a relationship with these people that I don't even know and then, or just asking them if they want to be a coach.
So like I said, like creating that relationship is not creating content on Instagram. It's just documenting your life. But for example, maybe I don't know if you're a mom or whatnot, but whatever you have learned as a person, as a woman in life that has added value to your life. For example, Kelsey has like all these crazy laundry hacks that saves her time and money on laundry and all these systems that she just passes on for free. And it naturally builds a relationship with people. So if you can do that, and I'm not saying like you have to have like a laundry niche like she does, but whatever that may be as a woman, if you're a married woman, whatever that may be. Maybe you like to fish. What's your favorite reel? What's your favorite rod that you like to use as a fishing person? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you're saying instead of just talking to people individually and creating that kind of relationship, you just add value and then connect in that way.
Yep. And none of it's like, she'll do her workout in the morning, but I would say 10% of it's fitness related. She'll post stuff from Take Back the Kitchen. Who wouldn't want a recipe? She develops relationships by giving away a recipe from Take Back the Kitchen. She doesn't reveal it's Shakeology that she drinks or Energize. She calls it Mommy Go-Go Juice and her chocolate salad. Like, because she wants people to message her and say, what the hell are you drinking, woman? And they do, because it's curiosity marketing. Like, you want to get people as curious as can be about what you're doing so that they come to you when they're ready, when they're interested.
That's so good, and it's so true. Insta Stories is totally where it's at. And, you know, Kelsey, if you guys don't follow Kelsey and Dean, because Dean's hilarious on stories as well, and sometimes he takes over Kelsey's stories. But follow them, because it's so true. Kelsey's so good about just sharing daily life, and then you're like, I want to know why I should wash my dishes no matter how many dishes I have in my dishwasher at night. Like, I want to know why I should do that. And you just learn these little tricks, and then what happens is, when you're at the dishwasher, you're thinking about Kelsey because she gave you this tip. And so it's like, she's the top of the mind then. And so, you know, it's just those little things to add value. It's so true. And it's true, I mean, for me, even, which I never thought I'd say this, over the last few months, almost 100% of my business is coming from Instagram, which is, I've never been one, like, Facebook has always been awesome, but it's changed so much. And so, like, I have 45,000 people on Facebook, and I'll get 1 like on a post. Like, it's insane how many people just don't even see your stuff. So Instagram is definitely where it's at. Dean, in closing, do you have anything else you want to leave us with before we call it a night?
That is stopping you. Maybe that's your mom, maybe that's your spouse, whoever. So I'm asking you, put aside the fear like I said earlier, when you're 90 and you're old and you're done, you don't get to do this again. You've got one life. Quit acting like, what if I don't figure out Snapchat? What if I don't figure out Instagram? See, what gets me is people come to me and they say, like, well, I don't have time to work another platform, or I don't have time to build another platform. But they're not where they want to be in life. They're not where they want to be in their business. But they're too busy to work on growing another platform. Let me tell you about growing another platform. Do you guys remember Vine? A platform called Vine? It was like 3-second videos that came out. Everybody wrote off Vine because Vine was 3-second videos. No one would pay attention to it. Vine did really good for a little bit. I got on Vine for a little bit. Vine crashed. Vine sucked. Periscope came out. Periscope was way better than Vine. Periscope, you could go live. Everybody was like, I don't have time for Periscope. Meanwhile, Kelsey and I are on Periscope doing live videos about who knows what, because nobody knows how to do a live video for this long. But we're practicing. We're building our craft. We're getting better behind the camera. And then all of a sudden, Facebook comes out with Facebook Live. And then Instagram Stories copies everything Snapchat does. My point is, it's not a waste. While everybody was writing off Periscope and everybody was writing off Vine, we were behind the scenes building that platform that really got us better and prepared for Instagram Stories, which is here to stay, if you haven't noticed by now. It's 2018, if you guys haven't figured it out by now. What we did 10 years ago in multi-level marketing, we're just scratching the surface now. The days of you setting up a booth at a trade show or a wedding convention are gone. The days of you setting up home parties are gone. You can reach thousands and thousands of people with the platforms that we have today. Utilize them. Don't let anybody hold you back. Do what you want to do with the one life that you have to live.
Thank you, Dean. That was so good. Truly, thanks so much for everything that you shared tonight. I will be posting the replay in the team page tomorrow, and I'm sure this will be one that we go back and take little snippets from, because it was so good. So thank you so much for taking time out of your night. I know you guys are super busy. Kelsey's probably had to do extra with the kids tonight. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem, guys. I hope it was helpful.
It was awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.